I don't like it. I think that we can campaign cleanly. We don't need to sling mud at each other.
Mm-hmm. Is that supposed to be fun?
Maybe.
Okay. And what do you think about that recent mudslinging against Mitt Romney? With the mudslinging that Obama approved the message, where it's about Mitt singing the national anthem, talking about America being an independent country. However, he's borrowing and giving money away to other countries.
Right. Well, Romney's campaign is not clean either. They're both guilty of it. Everybody today is guilty of it. So in the world we have today in campaigning, it's common practice to sling mud at each other. If one guy's doing it, the other guy probably has to, unfortunately. Otherwise you look like you're not defending yourself in terms of of the campaign and what people are saying about you.
So it's basically you have to fight with fire and fire.
It's unfortunate, but yeah.
Is it right to use it, and does it help a candidate, or does it hurt the candidate that uses it?
Do I start answering them?
Yes.
All right. If mudslinging, if we're looking at it as personal attacks on the candidates, I think it probably depends upon what the content of that attack is. So let's say a candidate stole something from someone, and that was a personal attack on the person being dishonest. I think that's relevant to the election. But if it's just sort of like general personal attack for the sake of personal attacks, I don't think it's a good thing.
Do I have permission to record you?
No.
Okay, then. I'm just going to use it anyway. What do you think about mudslinging the American government and politicians that use it?
I don't think it's necessary.
You don't think it's necessary? Do you think it hurts politicians who use it?
I think it works negatively in both ways, yes.
If it uses negative in both terms. What do you know any experiences in past mudslinging, such as previous elections?
Have I heard of any?
I heard of any.
Yes, I have.
What, name one?
Name one mudsling?
Mm-hmm.
There's a candidate that's running for Senate near my house that was said to be using tax dollars to go on vacation, and there's a picture of her in a rather small...
Very revealing.
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Sports, what do you think about political mudslinging?
I really don't agree with it. I think they should base their values on what they're going to do, not making fun of the other person or personal attacks or degrading what the other person is doing, because people need to base it on what's the actual thing that's happening, what's the actual policy that's happening, and sometimes we get so caught up in the negative, and sometimes I think just human nature says that we want to hear the negative, but we don't need the negative.
So, however, what if this politician that you have to hear mudslinging about is being dishonest?
To be honest with you, they're all dishonest.
They're all dishonest.
I mean, in my history of knowing politicians, I don't know. It's not that they're dishonest. They spin it to the direction they want to spin it.
A curveball.
Yeah, they're changing it and making you think what they want you to think, but in reality, if you're educated, you know better. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's frustrating, is I think they treat us as uneducated and stupid.
Okay.
And I think we know better than that.
Mr. Bronto. All right, Mr. Bronto, what do you think about political mudslinging?
What do I think about it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's always inherent in politics. It's been around forever. It's obviously around quite a bit in this election.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think about recent mudslinging this year, like against Mitt Romney?
Against Mitt Romney?
Yeah.
People act as if it's something new, but I think if you look back, people mudslinged against Al Gore when he ran for president. People mudslinged against George Bush, and I think both sides do it, albeit one side might do it a little worse than the other.
Even Lyndon B. Johnson, didn't he do that to someone else?
Well, Lyndon Johnson did it against Barry Goldwater when he ran for president in 1964.
That was the Daisy something video.
Suggested that Barry Goldwater was reckless with nuclear weapons and was going to blow up the world. So
Ooh.
yeah, that's kind of a serious allegation.
All right then. Final note. What do you think we should not have mudslinging anymore?
Well, you can't stop it because people are going to say things that are somewhat untruthful or somewhat exaggerated because, especially in desperate times, I think if you want to see who the group is that's doing the mudslinging, you see who's losing the election as you get closer, and you see bigger and bigger lies coming out of that side, and you get more mudslinging because of desperation.
So it's pretty much inedible.
Correct.
political mudslinging.
All right. My thoughts on political mudslinging would be, one, I'm kind of against it. And the reason why is because if you ask anybody about the election, they can't wait till November 6th is over. And the reason being is because of all the political ads, the negativity that's created, the negative energy that's created in politics and American politics. So one argument that I would say mudslinging presents something negative is for the fact of is getting people down on politics. I do think that if people are going to use ads, they should come up and say, this is my plan, this is what I plan to do, and be very straightforward, not be elusive in what they're going to do, but kind of tell you, if you vote for me, this is what you can expect from me. Now, whether they get that accomplished, they can at least attempt, but I think it should be nice and straightforward and worry about yourself, not get into personal slings, personal attacks, which creates a negative impression of American politics, which is something that is not good.
Mr. Vales, what do you think about political mudslinging?
I would rather hear what the candidate themselves has to say, what they are believing, what their policies will be, rather than hear what they feel is wrong with the other candidates. So I personally am turned off by candidates using those things.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about recent mudslinging in the previous elections?
I don't watch a ton of TV, so I don't see a ton on there. During the debates, it bothered me that they kept bringing up what the other guy was doing wrong, the policies had failed for them. I would, again, just like to hear what their own candidate, what they are believing, what they're supporting, and what they're going to bring to the table.
All right, that'll do for now. So what do you think about political mudslinging?
What do you mean, what do I think about it?
What do you think? Is it bad, good? Should we have it? Should we not have it?
Well, it's been part of politics for a very long time.
How long?
But it's definitely in America since the election of 1800
Really?
with Thomas Jefferson and John Adams.
That was the first document of mudslinging?
Well, it probably happened to a degree before, but that was definitely happening there, where Thomas Jefferson was feeding negative information about John Adams to the newspapers and paying people to put it in the paper. So there's two ways to look at it. One is that it's very difficult to get rid of, but one is that it definitely does distract from the real issue.
The real issue is that people want to know the truth and not...
Not always what people want to know, but what might be really important. There's a difference between what people want to know and what really matters, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Like in this election, what do the candidates keep talking about?
They keep talking about how Mitt Romney is a Mormon and how he doesn't give gay and women rights.
And people are interested in that, but are those the most important issues?
Those aren't the most important issues. We should be talking about what he would do, because I think Mitt actually has a shot.
Well, definitely. If you look at the polling, it's pretty much up in the air, isn't it?
I know, but the problem is that people won't vote for Mitt that much because of the mudslinging against him.
It's a big issue. And John Kerry in 2004, the same thing happened when he was running against George Bush. You never really got to know who he was because the Republicans started a mudslinging campaign against him where they took guys that they served in Vietnam with. They make negative comments about him, saying that he wasn't a patriotic soldier, a very good soldier.
All right.
And people got distracted by that and didn't really pay attention to the